Hey everyone, happy Sunday. So here we are, the fifth Sunday of Easter, and the Gospel this Sunday offers us the gift of hindsight. So the reading is set in John 13, just after the washing of the disciples' feet and obviously before the crucifixion. And if we imagine the disciples, like us in the time of the resurrection, thinking about all that happened before Jesus' crucifixion, probably came back to this moment as well, perhaps played it back like a movie in their mind and came to that point where they realized, that's what Jesus meant all along. And in the gospel at the beginning, Jesus is talking about he will become into his moment of glory, and that because of this experience, the Father will also be glorified. And this glory that Jesus is talking about is loving to the extreme, is embracing the cross. And actually, if we think about Jesus' own experiences of hindsight, we might go back to the reading that we heard on Good Friday. And it comes from the prophet Isaiah. And in different moments, we hear about this experience of this servant and even of this suffering servant. And this servant suffers because they love so intensely with the love of God, even in the face of injustice, of brokenness, of perhaps environments that aren't so welcoming of love. And when we read these passages, it's actually difficult to distinguish between the voice of God and the voice of the prophet. It's like they're so intermingled that we can't just distinguish whose is who. And if we go back to the gospel of today, the second part of it is just that invitation. Jesus telling us, if I just call you to love, I command you to love. And when you love, they will see you and know that you are my disciple. It's like they'll see you and they'll relate it with me. It's like you will become indistinguishable for them from yourself and God. And for each one of us, perhaps in different moments, we also are slow to understand. Maybe we need the gift of hindsight in different moments to realize the ways in which we're called to love, the ways in which God has been speaking to us all along. Perhaps through those who we live with, we work with, that we spend every day with. And it's okay if it takes us a while to catch on. But how beautiful that God would want to be so connected with us, that our voices could become so intermingled, our lives could become so indistinguishable, that others will recognize us by our love, recognize God in us by our loving. So I encourage each one of us this Sunday to embrace all that we learn, especially in this time of the resurrection, perhaps in hindsight, perhaps in those moments of new life in our lives. Embrace it as a beautiful invitation to see that God wants to shine through us, even if it takes us a little while to catch on. Happy Sunday, everyone.